Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
Good morning. I'm Joe Garcia, and I'm hosting the Alamo City Sportscast as Mike is running late like usual. So you know what? Since Mike is not here and we're going to be roasting him on today's show until he arrives here early, we're going to go ahead and give a grito to all the Saints Nation, or the Aints Nation, should I say. Because you know what? Right now, the Saints, ever since they beat the Cowboys, they've gone 0-3. They've lost 3 in a row. And I said your team is only as good as your record says you are, right? Cowboys are 3-2. The Aints 2-3. Right? Mike said his own words. There's a big difference between being 2-3 and 3-2. So without further ado, we got to go ahead and pour some out for Saints fans. And until Mike gets here on time, the Edgar stays. You know why? Because I say so. I know you all loving it. You're loving the Edgar, Mike. I love it too. Yeah, Cowboys, like we're saying, they have a better record than the Aints. So we're going to go ahead and ask Mike what he has to say about that. I'm sure he's going to backtrack. I never said that. We have the tape. What's up, Jesse A? What's up, Sam Salinas? Nef Azuna, what's up, man? Fraud alert. Aints lose 3 in a row. That's what I'm saying. Who let the Spurs in scoring? We're going to talk about that too. We're going to have a little overreaction here by Spurs fans. You know, first game of the season. You know, Spurs fans acting like the season's over. Some of them are. Some of them are happy, you know, that at least we have Spurs basketball back on TV again. Sean getting cardio. Yeah, put the mic back up. I did, just for you guys. Aints are frauds. Good morning, fellas. What's up? Mario Cavazos. Good to see you, man. You are what your record says you are. Exactly. I can't wait for Mike to get here. That way we can go ahead and roast him and ask him, what's up, man? Why, what's going on with your Saints? Hey, what's up, Tex-Mex Frank? Because the Cowboys game was the Saints Super Bowl. Mike bringing you tacos for being late? No, hombre. He ain't bringing no tacos, man. Joe, use that picture when you plug Mike's financial services. Oh, man. You know what? Just for you guys, man. Y'all are crazy, dude. Y'all got me dying over here, man. There you go. Call Mike. Oh, shit, man. This is going to be a good episode. I can't wait for him to get in here, man. Is that the zesty Mike? Yeah, I guess. You know what? Maybe I should trim the face down a little bit, right? Because he lost some weight. So we got to go ahead and trim that face down a little bit. But we can talk about some Spurs basketball, man. I mean, like we're saying, San Antonio Spurs were back in action yesterday against Oklahoma City Thunder. And Spurs fans were excited. We got to see Spurs back on TV, and this time it wasn't through some funky app or some third-party service that we had to go through to watch the game. It was locally televised here on the CW, channel 4.2, if you're here in the local San Antonio area. And we're going to talk about some of the standouts from the preseason game. It's the first preseason game, so we can't overreact, right? So we have... Who was leading the Spurs in scoring last night other than the one person that Mike hates the most, Julian Champagnie? He had 22 points on the night, played 21 minutes. He was followed by Mamu. Mamu put up 14 points against the Oklahoma City Thunder. You had Malachi Branham. He put up 12, man. So followed by Riley Minix, who had 8 points for himself there. Jeremy Sochan. I know Mike doesn't like him, some Jeremy Sochan. He put up 9 points. Harrison Barnes scored 6. So did Trey Jones. Stephon Castle. I think he had the play of the game, man. He had that thunderous dunk there that kind of just brought everyone to their feet. He scored a total of 5 points, played 19 minutes. Kind of like what I saw out of Stephon Cass. So if you're a Spurs fan, you're excited, man. It's Mike's truck, no quema. Ooh, the Edgar Mike. Yeah, there we go. Good morning, man. Hey, maybe Mike's going to get a ride over here. If you're familiar with the Petrenko area, you already know that there's a guy that walks up and down the road here with the basket. He's a staple here, man. I think that's going to be Mike's new buddy. They're going to go walking together. Chiefs dominated the Saints. Mike is Marbach Road waiting for Church's Fried Chicken to open up. Mike is off the wagon. He probably is. Maybe he's picking up some tacos. So I hope he's bringing some tacos. And look at Mainstain says, Steph Castle making his way ahead. Yep, he was. Sam Salinas says, so in the game where you're supposed to win, what can you bring to the team? Sochan brought nothing. Sohan's just out there. He's a body, man. He's out there just to go ahead and play defense, try to help space the floor a little bit, by trying to help his teams get open, going out there, setting some screens, trying to get those 50-50 balls, trying to get some rebounds. I mean, you look at Sochan's minutes overall. He had 6 rebounds on the night, one assist. He played 21 minutes, only scored 9 points. I get what y'all are saying, man, but who's a better option to put in there? What are you going to do? You're going to sit Jeremy Sochan and then insert one Keldon Johnson? If you look at Keldon, Keldon had 8 points, played 23 minutes, less rebounds, and only had 1 assist. So, what are you going? Who are you going to put in there as your forward? That's the question mark there. But you're also looking at some of the other younger players, like you had City Sissoko, didn't have a very good game, played 20 minutes, only had 1 point. Blake Wesley, I know that's another fan favorite there, 18 minutes, he only had 3 points on the night. But I got to say that Riley Minix, man, he kind of surprised me. I didn't think kid was going to put up the numbers that he did as far as his points production, given that he only played 10 minutes. So that's not bad at all. Not a bad showing. Yeah, Malachi Flynn. Again, he played 8 minutes, only had 9 points. And look at who just pulled up right now. Shame on you. Every time you're late, this is the picture I'm going to put up.
All right, when did we start? All right, 10 minutes ago we started.
Every time you're late, that's the picture I'm going to put up.
Okay, first of all, this is normally a 10-minute drive to get over here. It took me half an hour because of traffic. I almost got into a car accident on the way over here. Some dude slammed his brakes for no freaking reason.
He brake checked you.
Was following behind moving trucks, and then there was a fire truck that stopped traffic. It was a bad 30-minute experience getting over here, so I apologize for that.
Now that you're here, we could take the picture down. But we're talking about the San Antonio Spurs, kind of, fans overreacting a little bit. Spurs Twitter was in full form yesterday. And, you had your usual suspects. You had Jeremy Sochan, and, Spurs fans don't really seem to care for his game too much, at least in our chat. I still like the kid. It's the first game of preseason. I'm not going to overreact and act like the sky is falling. It's preseason. These games are absolutely meaningless. They're just meant to go out there and see what you got in these younger players because they're vying for roster spots. They're vying to go ahead and play more minutes. Pop's getting a look at the team as it is, who's going to play, who's not, who's going to sit on the bench, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the Mike Taylor term, the knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, man.
You don't want to have that, right? Because it's
one game.
It's one game. It's a preseason game. I know Pledger was coming at me from San Antonio Sports Star. He was coming at me because I was talking about someone posted photos of Jeremy Sochan shooting 2-handed free throws and all that stuff, saying, "Oh, well, they're building his
Jeremy
shot up from the bottom
shot
up."
Looks better, Mike. Come on,
dude.
His shot looks better,
dude. It couldn't have looked any worse.
My God.
Couldn't have looked any worse, baby. Just no, man. What it's going to be. Let's talk about Sochan, right? Let's define what a good year for Jeremy Sochan will be from a shooting perspective. I know he's a good defender, right? Some people like to say he's a lockdown defender. I think he's a really good one. Okay, I wouldn't say lockdown. He's really good. Let's lay it down on the line right now, Joe. What is considered a good year for Jeremy Sochan when it comes to shooting? Because I give him crap about his effective field goal shooting.
But he's not known to be an offensive
I don't care.
threat.
It's a basketball game.
So every person that's out there on that floor has to score in double digits.
In 2024, yes.
Every person.
In 2024,
That's a lie.
yes. This is not 1988.
That's a lie.
This is not 1988 where you can have Horace Grant.
I don't know how you
can
can sit there and spew this poison,
dude,
all the time.
Dude, it changed.
It's ridiculous.
It changed.
Man.
Do you know when it changed? It changed in 2010, 2011, 2013 when you had the Heatles, right? When you had LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh.
Show me a starting five here in the NBA right now where every single player scores in double digits.
Boston Celtics.
Not every single player.
Every single one does.
No.
Boston Celtics. Not single one does.
Not every game.
Oh, dude, not every game. Talk about on average.
I'm telling you, the thing is that you want every single person on the starting
to be
five
able to shoot the damn ball. Yes.
And right now, what is this team known for? The San Antonio Spurs
Nothing.
team.
They're known for losing. They're known for having
shoot.
They're known for having a 75-year-old coach.
They can't shoot the ball very well.
We need to talk. Okay,
that.
I'm looking at the Celtics from last year. All five in the starting lineup averaged 12.5 points or more per game.
Average, but what did every single player get?
Dude,
every single
dude,
good. Don't give me the averages,
dude.
You do this all the time. No.
It's all about the averages.
You always do this. You always try to make your arguments the best, because you get convoluted stats.
Oh my God! Dude.
And you're like, look, it's 12 points they average, and it's this. No, man, I'm talking about every single person on the starting five.
Right.
They're not going to average double digits.
Dude,
every
the
night.
Cy Young Award winner loses from time to time, baby. The Cy Young Award winner will get knocked.
The Aints.
They did. And we'll get into that.
We're
going to get into that. They have a really interesting 4-game stretch coming up. But no, let's talk about this because, of course, not everybody. Dude, Michael Jordan missed shots. Kobe Bryant missed shots. There were off games for Tim Duncan.
There were starters on his team, too, that weren't very good.
You cannot have a team in 2024 that doesn't know how to shoot the ball. You can't. You can't. So let's define what a good season is for Jeremy Sochan when it comes to shooting the damn ball.
Oh, God.
Because you know what? He could be a god defensively, and it don't mean crap.
You know what,
Jeremy? It don't mean crap. If you can't shoot the ball,
I love you, Jeremy Sochan, as a player, man.
Everybody
if you see Mike in the arena, don't give him no love.
Everybody on the thread here, Mario Cavazos, Sam Salinas, give me what you want as a good offensive year from Jeremy Sochan because I can care less about defense. It's about scoring points, dude. It's about scoring points. Now, defense, does it matter? Sure, it matters. But you can't say, well, we have this defensive specialist like it's 1993. Dude, Dennis Rodman would not fly in 2024. Dennis Rodman of 1996 would not fly in 2024 because you need to score the points.
Hot take, though. Dennis Rodman, a lot of people have him as the best rebounder, right, that the NBA has ever seen. Is this true or not?
Dennis Rodman was a lockdown defender. He was a lockdown defender, and he got a lot of his rebounds based on his defense.
The best the NBA has ever seen.
No, Wilt Chamberlain's the best the NBA has ever seen. But Dennis Rodman's easily top 10, maybe even top 5. But no, Joe, let's go back to it. What is a decent shooting percentage for this guy? Because you guys give me crap because I talk about his effective field goal shooting percentage, right? Jeremy Sochan's stats were identical to his rookie. He did not get any better overall. And people are like, oh, well, his three-point shooting went up from 24% to 31%. Yeah, but you know what went down? His two-point shooting. So what is it, dude? Give me a number because 0.483. I'm looking at his stats right here.
That's your argument.
Offensively, he sucks.
No good.
Offensively, he sucks ass.
Why did they even draft him? Did they draft him because he's going to score double digits?
It was a weak.
No,
it was a weak draft, dude. If
you know what's weak, the tape that you have is weak.
If you're picking number 9,
not enough.
Oh my God, Joe, you're telling me that with a lottery pick at number 9, you're picking somebody who's
their guy.
You're picking somebody who's not going to be able to score.
They didn't pick him for his offensive prowess. Dude, he never was an offensive threat. Then what's the
point of playing basketball?
He was never an offensive threat. When you go back to him playing in high school,
then why is he shooting the ball so often?
Did he score? No. Comes to the NBA level?
Fine.
He's not a scorer.
Okay, fine. He's not a scorer. Then don't shoot the ball 11 times per game, which he did last season. Then don't shoot the ball.
He can't shoot his free throws very good, but shooting one-handed was better. He got better from the stripe with the one-handed.
Pincho Sports comes out and says the best Sochan can do is 14 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block per game, 47%. Now,
but the thing with Sochan is, I even said, if you get 8 points out of him every night, that's about
it's
you're gonna get.
no, you're looking at it wrong, Joe. It's
That's
not
all you're
about
gonna
the
get.
8 points. It's the efficiency by which you get the 8 points. Dude, I'll give you an example.
So he's going to shoot
no,
the ball 13 times to get 8 points?
No, you don't. You want to be able to shoot the ball 5 times to get 8 points. I'll give you an example, Joe. Do you know who the least efficient basketball player in NBA history is? The least efficient is Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
You might look at his stats and go, man, Russell Westbrook averaged triple-double.
But how many shots?
How many shots did he have to put up to get there? One of the most overrated players in all of NBA history is Kobe Bryant. You look at Kobe Bryant's stats? Kobe Bryant was a trash shooter. Couldn't make shit. Look at his stats, dude. Kobe Bryant.
Oh my God.
Kobe Bryant, may he rest in peace.
We're talking about Jeremy Sochan.
Well,
and you're going to Kobe Bryant.
No, but what I'm saying here is that it's about efficiency. Kobe Bryant, a career 32% three-point shooter, a career 44% shooter. Dude, it's about efficiency. That's why the movie Moneyball exists, right? It's about the advanced statistics of sports. If you are shooting .483 as a rookie and as a second-year player, you are bottom 15 percentile. He needs to at least, I'm going to put my number down of what I'll be happy with.
And I was asking the chat before you got here, if you take Jeremy Sochan out of the lineup because, he's not a very good player, in your opinion, who do you put in there?
He's a good defensive player.
Who do you put
trash
in the
offensively?
You take him out. Who do you put in?
They don't have anybody.
Keldon?
They don't have anybody. They're different positions. Keldon doesn't play power forward.
I know, but I'm saying, who are you going to put in there? You got nobody at this point. You don't have.
The only way that you could function that way is you put Collins in there and you make it Twin Towers. That's the only way.
Oh no, man.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about Sochan. What is the number, the effective field goal shooting percentage? Because as a power forward, you should be at .54, right? But if you're shooting a lot of 3-pointers, you should be at 0.54%. 0.483 is a long way from 0.54. So I will say this, Joe. I'll meet him somewhere towards the middle. If his effective field goal shooting could be 51.5% to 52%, I would be happy. It's still not good, but I'd be happy because I'd rather have a mediocre shooter who's a very good defender than have a very good defender who's trash offensively. Now, Jeremy can fill the break. He can run the break very well. But look at this 3-point shooting, right? They're like, okay, well, he improved from 24 to 31%.
Yeah.
Do you know what the other teams were doing? The same thing that they do to Russell Westbrook. They wanted him to shoot. They didn't defend the 3-pointers that he shot up there. What happens when you have a hand in your face? Like he's going to be shooting the same percentage. They wanted him to shoot. That was the whole game plan, was to let him shoot. So if you're shooting 31% from 3 wide open the entire time, that's still not good.
Well, here's what the Spurs are looking at in that power forward position, right? This is their depth chart. Jeremy Sochan. You also have Keldon Johnson.
Right.
Harrison Barnes. He's already playing the small forward, though.
Right.
Harrison Ingram. And then Mamu. That's it. So if you take Jeremy Sochan out of that starting lineup,
there's nothing there.
Who do you want to put in there?
The Spurs have not done a very good job of building this team. Yeah. They have not. And some of these parts are disjointed. They had a 14% chance of landing Wemby, right?
And
we had just as big of a chance of landing Amen Thompson or Osar Thompson, right? So when everything changed when Wemby was drafted, because then you have to build around him. But then what did the Spurs do in the first time they got him? They didn't build around him. They're like, well, we're going to see what we got around him. We're going to see who we have. We like the team we got, right?
Look at Mario Cavazos. Why did they draft Castle? He can't shoot either, right?
Dude, Castle is a very, very, very good player who can play multiple positions, dude. Larry said I need to calm down before I have a heart attack. Matt, dude, saw your photo the other day, baby. You said that should that be your new profile pic? The answer is damn straight, man. Congratulations on all of that.
He's lost
dude.
like 100 pounds,
dude. Dude, you look fantastic, man. Congratulations on that. At what point, let's say that Sochan goes out there this year, right? And averages 10 points per game, 11 points per game. Shoots another dismal .495. He improved by 1%, but still bottom 25 percentile.
Yeah.
At what point do Spurs fans look at that and go, he ain't it? This is a make or break season for Sochan this year. It's a make or break season because he has a better small forward next to him on the front court with Harrison Barnes. He doesn't have to play point guard anymore because you've got Chris Paul there. And you've got Stephon Castle there who could play some point.
Look at Puro Pinche Sports says Sochan will be traded by the deadline. But look at what Matt Lerma says, because I like me some Jeremy Sochan. He says, laugh out loud. How can you judge Sochan for this season off of playing 20 minutes in a game where Harrison Barnes was the center?
Oh, no, I'm not judging. I didn't even watch last night's game. I was watching Monday Night Football. So I don't care about preseason basketball. I don't judge anybody based on preseason basketball because there's no these players barely know each other's names, right?
Yeah,
they haven't been practicing very long, and that's why I don't take for you shouldn't take certain things.
Yeah,
like I'll give you an example. When the Spurs had one of their worst seasons ever a few years ago, they went 6-4 to start the year, if I'm not mistaken. First 10 games, like in football, the first 2 or 3 games, you know what the team is.
Like world beaters.
Yeah, you look like world beaters after a while, right? And you want your team to win, but it's kind of hard to get super excited because once you're halfway through the season, in the NBA, once you're around Christmas time, you kind of know what team you got, right? Yeah. You kind of know what team you got. But no one wants to put their name on the line right now and give me a damn percentage. Give me a damn percentage. No one wants to because everybody wants to love him because he's a lovable guy. Oh, my God. Did you see what hair color he has? I don't give 2 shits what kind of hair color he has. Make a freaking bucket every once in a while, and I'd be happy.
You know what was funny to me? You know who was making buckets in last night's game?
Champagne.
I
saw the box score. I saw the box
But you know what? He didn't have a very good first half.
Yeah.
He didn't look very good. He was shooting threes, and he was missing more than he was making. But at the end of the day, he kept on at it, and he put up 22 points in 21 minutes. Not bad, But, I mean, you also had Mamu out there playing some minutes as well, and he put up 14 points in his 18 minutes out there. And I got to say, Mamu right now, he looks like he's the better center, backup center to Wemby than Collins. Yeah,
dude,
man.
It's all about, by the way, Sam Salinas, I love his comment right now. Sochan's hair is freaking stupid.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you. I second that motion. No, Mamu is growing on people, right? A lot of people liked him from the get-go. It took me a while to kind of get on the Mamu train. Sometimes it's not about talent. Sometimes it's about chemistry. And Mamu has chemistry out there. And the things that we applaud Sochan for what he does defensively, which is basically do the dirty work.
Yeah.
Is exactly what Mamu does on the offensive side of the ball.
Mamu just looks good in what he does when he's out there. He's active. He's moving around. You can tell he's working hard, And when you see Collins out there, there's just a different aura about it.
When the ball gets down to Collins, the game gets slow in the sense that the ball movement stops.
There's no lateral movement.
He doesn't make a decision right away. He doesn't go up very strong. But Mamu has this irrational confidence out there where when he gets the ball, he's going to make a decision. Yeah. He's playing with instinct, whereas Collins is too deep in his thoughts to play well.
Yeah,
even when Collins gets the ball from 3, he has a good form shot. Collins gets the ball, he hesitates. And it's that hesitation that misses shots. The players that play well are the ones who instinctively know what to do and don't think about it.
Sean Elliott said something that was very telling last night too, and it's something that I've noticed as well. He was saying, you look at the veterans out there, you're going to see like Harrison Barnes. He goes, he plays calm out there. Yeah. You look at Mamu's calm. Even CP3, he goes, when you see CP3 playing, even though he hasn't played right now wearing the Spurs uniform in preseason, he says when you notoriously see him out there, he's calm.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and you look at the younger core that they have out there, and when they're playing and they're running up and down the court, he goes, they're rushing through things. They're trying to play too fast paced. And what they're doing, what this young core does, is they try to have that fast pace, and they try to play so fast that it gets them in trouble because they're caught in no man's land. They got 3 defenders around them trying to pass the ball, turns into a turnover going the other way for an easy dunk or a lob, for an easy layup. They make a lot of mistakes. And what I noticed about the young core as well is that they try to play so fast because they try to cover up their mistakes.
Yeah.
And you can't be doing that. You got to play with conviction. You got to play with purpose, and you got to slow the game down a little bit because you have to allow your other players to get set because, again, you're trying to just get that tunnel vision like Keldon does and go straight to the basket, And then at the last minute, you're trying to see who the open man is, and you're already surrounded by 3-4 people.
It reminds me, and I know it's different. You know,
Yeah.
when I referee basketball, they say make sure that every move that you make on the basketball court has a purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're saying when it comes to the players. You know, don't just be dancing around, do something, right? And I know there's set plays and whatnot, but you know, at some point you have to be instinctive as to what you're doing. That's why Mamu does so well. I got to ask you a question about Wemby.
Okay.
Entering his second season, everyone believes, Vegas believes he's going to be an all-star. He's going to be defensive player of the year. And Lord willing, if he's healthy, maybe even a most improved player.
Yeah.
Right? That's what Vegas has as the outright favorite, Joe. From a perspective of leadership on the team, we know that he's the only potential all-star on this team. No one else is going to make an all-star team, right?
Yeah.
He's the best player on the team. He might become the best player on the planet within a couple of years. At the age of 20, Joe, what type of fire do we need to see from him from a leadership perspective? Because I know CP3 is there, but CP3 is 40 years old. I know Harrison Barnes is there, but Harrison Barnes is just a good player. At what point do we want to see Victor Wembanyama become the leader of this team from the perspective of leadership, from the perspective of you go here, you go here, you go here, you go there, from the perspective of this is my team.
Yeah.
Become the alpha. They use that phrase alpha a lot, right? Being the alpha on the team, because he's not yet. He's just the best player. When do we want to see him? And is it too early? Is it too early to want that from Wemby? Because we saw that with, LeBron takes control of the team. Michael Jordan took control of the team. Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, the greats eventually run their team. And I kind of feel like right now, and I don't blame him. He's just 20 years old, right? He's still young. So I'm not saying that it has to be this year. But what I am saying is that I cannot wait for that moment.
I think what you're asking is Wemby needs to set the tone for the team. He needs to set the tone. You know what he needs to do? He needs to show some of that nasty. He needs to come out and he needs to dominate the game. He needs to be the aggressor and set that tone. The expectation is this is how I want you all to play.
Because remember last year, Vassell would avoid passing the ball sometimes, and Trey Jones would not find him.
Vassell, man, let's be honest, man. Vassell's trying to get his.
He got butthurt.
He was trying to get his.
So Wemby at this point of his career, I think it'll happen towards the rodeo road trip, especially if the Spurs are in any contention for making a play-in tournament berth. For him to be out there demanding the ball. Not over here going, I'm open, but demanding the ball. Yeah. Because he has that talent. He's 7'4".
The problem with the Spurs is that they played a lot of individual ball last year. They were playing hero ball. They didn't know how to play with Wemby. Wemby's the tallest guy out there, didn't really know what to make of him. Couldn't really get a gauge for him until later on in the season as far as the spacing, where does he like the ball? Can he catch it if I lob it up to him this high, that kind of thing. And near the end of the season, what happened is that Wemby started getting better. But why? Because you had injury.
Right.
Devin Vassell was out, right? When he's out of the game, what happens? Wemby gets more touches,
Tony Ronaldo right here says Wemby doesn't need pressure from the media. He's just learning about the NBA. Give him 2 more seasons or next season. It's too early to call. The problem with 2 more seasons is his first contract's up. His first contract's up. Now, I know there's restricted free agency and the Spurs can get him anyway and supermax him and things like that. But at the end of the day, here's the thing that Spurs fans need to understand. If Wemby wants out of San Antonio, he gets out of San Antonio.
If they ain't winning, he's going to want to go.
Right. He calls the shots. You might say, well, he's under contract. No, he calls the shots. A superstar in the NBA dictates where they go.
Yeah.
And if he says, I don't want to be in San Antonio, he's gone.
How many more years does he have on the rookie contract?
Yeah. Hey, guess who almost left the Spurs? Tim Duncan back in 03.
Not only Timmy, but LaMarcus too. He wanted out.
But Tim Duncan, famously, who, Spurs legend.
He already had the gentleman's handshake and everything.
With the Orlando Magic, Doc Rivers fumbled that one.
They had to call Tim Duncan back. Or not Tim Duncan, but David Robinson. He was on vacation in Hawaii. He had to come back and say, hey.
So even those guys, even the most loyal, that's why whenever Spurs fans come up to me and go, he doesn't want to go anywhere. He loves Pop. He loves this. Dude, Tim Duncan, right, was about to basically throw Pop the middle finger and leave in 2003 after winning 2 titles. Right? It's like we forget that. How deep into his career was that? What, 5-6 years into his career? Started in 97, 98? 6 years into his career? Duncan was done with Pop.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. He was done with him. He was done with City of San Antonio. He was done with his organization. He wanted to join forces in Orlando, join Grant Hill and all that stuff. People forget that.
Yeah.
And just because Duncan stayed doesn't mean that Wemby's going to stay or Wemby's going to want to be here for 8 years. The time to build this team around Wemby is now.
You need a better cast of characters around it.
Now, remember y'all were giving me crap last week about how you say, oh, you flip-flopped, and then you flip-flopped again.
Backtrack.
What was this, a punt, right? The answer is yes. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Come on.
They're not going to make the playoffs.
They're going to flirt with it, but they're not going to make the They can flirt with the play-in.
Dude, Vegas has them being 11 games away from the play-in tournament.
I have them about 35, 38 games.
11 games away because it takes 46 to win. The thing about that is that the question becomes, do you build around him or do you develop around him? It's kind of a different thing, right? Because Zed's dead. What's her name? Sam? Is that her name? Posted something about Rob Dillingham, how Rob Dillingham went off in his first preseason game, and was saying that Spurs fans are going to be looking at Dilly and following his career and asking themselves the question, did the Spurs mess up? Because the Spurs decided to get 55 games out of Chris Paul and have him become player coach for a little while to Trey Jones and Stephon Castle, as opposed to getting a player who might be able to be a benefit of this team for a long term.
Look at Sam Salinas. I say if Pop is still the same at the helm and we're not at least contenders, Wemby will bolt.
Yep.
And look, we got an incoming
$10 super chat. Well, thank you so much, Drew Show. Saying, quote, the eye test statistics and box score aside, Castle as a rookie looks like a talent when compared with the usual suspects, Keldon, Malachi, Jeremy, Trey. He passes with flying colors. Shame, shame, shame. Drew, I've been saying this from the get-go, and this is my claim to fame, especially if Stephon Castle is a star on this team. Joe, you know how you say, well, we have the tape and all that stuff? I've been saying since last year, November, December of last year, that the Spur I wanted on this team, that I wanted from UConn, the guy that I wanted was Stephon Castle. Even our good friend, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 was like, dude, you were on the Stephon Castle trade early, the first one on. 2-2, I wanted that guy from the get-go. You watch him play out there, Stephon Castle is a man among boys out there. If you're going to say who's the other Spur that could become an all-star, it's not Devin Vassell. It's not Keldon Johnson. It's not Jeremy Sochan. If there's another potential all-star on this team, it is Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle is a very, very good basketball player. Plays well defensively. His shot looks good. He was out of position last year because traditionally, growing up, he was a point guard. Played shooting guard and 3 last year. He was out of position. He played well.
And look at what we have here. Oh, get that. Get you some.
Yeah. When did you see Malachi do that? When did you see
never
Blake Wesley do that? When did you see Luka Samanic do that? These are all first rounders that the Spurs have had over the years. Dude, Stephon Castle.
You see that reaction, though, by the bench? Keldon was like, oh.
Stephon Castle just improved his shot a tick. It doesn't look broken. He was out of position. He's a point guard.
Man.
He's a point guard being asked to play the 2 and the 3.
You'd love hating you some Jeremy Sochan, man.
I didn't even mention Sochan in that.
You don't have to, bro. It's already implied.
It's implied.
It's implied.
Jackass.
You walk into the Frost Center and they're like, Jeremy Sochan hater. Or he's given off already. You know?
Dude, you know, the shiny toy, right? That's what John Dyer said on the show, right? He says the Spurs fans love the shiny toy. They love Lonnie Walker. They love DeJounte Murray. And at some point we sour on them because we realize they're not what they were advertised to be.
Look, let's real talk. You looked at this team yesterday. It's the first game of preseason, you know, and I was looking at nuances, right? Things, okay, let me see what they can show me here. Something better than last year. And I got to say, some of the same mistakes that they were making last year are still prevalent this year. It's like rinse and repeat. You know, the problem that they have, pacing. They're playing way too fast to be in control, turns into turnovers. Okay, that's one thing that they still haven't figured out. Spacing. is another thing that they haven't figured out, right? You still don't know how to space the floor correctly, how to move in the right positions to give your team a better chance to get a good shot up, right? Still haven't figured that out. The other thing that I saw too, transition defense.
It doesn't matter.
I'm
Though.
like,
there
it's
was
the same
there was
thing,
no
dude.
Wemby. By the way, JHNSB
Yeah, I know.
with a great comment here, it says Trey Jones, when you showed that dunk there, Stephon Castle, Trey Jones would have gotten blocked into the stands if he tried that.
That is true.
And
bro.
that is why the point guard of the future is not Trey Jones. Trey Jones is a fine basketball player who will play in the NBA for a decade. It's going to make generational wealth money for him, just like his brother Tyus Jones. They are good enough to be in the NBA. They're ideal backups. Stephon Castle show with that athletic play right there that he should be the starting point guard for this team eventually.
Look at this, Mike. Matt Lerma. Blake Wesley has tons of dunks just like that. What are you talking about, Mike?
Yeah, but that's in the G League. Let's talk about the NBA.
Oh.
Yeah, he's playing the Laredo Vipers or Rio Grande Vipers or whatever they're called these days.
Riley Minix looked good. He didn't look bad. I mean, and Coach Pop even said this. He's like, look, honestly, he didn't give the kid a lot of run, right? He gave him limited minutes, but what you look at what he did with the 10 minutes that he held out there on the court, the kid put up, some points. He put up 8 points in 10 minutes. It's not bad. And he was active out there on the court. He was getting after it. He was not giving up on plays, which I absolutely loved. He stayed with the play. Even though his guy was going out of bounds already, he was still on him. You got to love that energy. Like, you like that enthusiasm out of him. I mean, is he going to make the team as far as a roster spot? I don't know. Maybe they might put him in the G League or keep him around. I mean, but I think he's a good player. He's a high energy player.
10 minutes played. He shot 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3 from 3, 8 points. Again, the Spurs lost their first preseason game 112-107 without Wemby out there. Riley Minix, though, from Morehead State. I mean, 24-year-old. I mean, these are those guys that played 4 years in college, right? These are the guys that didn't get drafted, that just stick around, man. They've got Riley Minix is older than more than half the Spurs roster. But very much like Jaden Daniels in football, he's got a lot of minutes played. So it's kind of interesting when you see a player like that try to make it in the NBA. I'm hopeful that he can get a spot somewhere. Who knows? Maybe he goes to the G League. Maybe he goes over there and does very well, gets picked up by another team, or maybe a Spurs injury brings him to the varsity squad.
Look at David Atwater. We need shooters. And Minix and Mamu made threes last night. Mamu did make some threes.
Mamu is going to get more minutes than I think a lot of people will give him credit
think
for.
That Mamu should be taking that number 2 spot, man. If Wemby gets out, comes out of the game, put in Mamu, man.
Right.
And then have Collins as that third option. Give him garbage minutes.
Yeah.
That's where he's going to be good. Give him the garbage minutes, man.
Riley Minix, by the way, in his last year in college, which was last year with Morehead State, shot 35% from 3, averaged 21 points per game, along with 1 block, 1 steal, 2 assists, and 10 rebounds per game. 6'7", 230. What does Chuck Mikatanik say from KBB? Can't teach height.
Can't teach.
6'7", 230, baby.
I like Chuck. Chuck is fun, dude.
Yeah, he's he's a creator of Nugget.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. We're at the Mike Taylor barbecue, and we were talking with him and with Ernie Zuniga, and we can't disclose the full conversation because it's private and stuff. But I like those private conversations. That's where you get a lot of juicy stuff, I like those. That's fun. It's like we should have a podcast talking like that, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, we can't.
Have we given some love to Jeff Garcia yet from Locked On Spurs?
No, not yet. We can give him some love, though.
Let's do it.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah, Jeff on Twitter right now at Jeff G Spurs Zone is showing that there was a sighting of several Spurs stars from back in the day at Specs Bar and Grill. That's Matt Bonner Manu Ginobili, Fabrizio Oberto, and others. Can you imagine going to a restaurant and seeing that? Have you ever bumped into Spurs out and about?
I've seen them out and about, out in the wild, especially if you go to the H-E-B that's on Broadway, you'll see some there pop up. And, even around town, walking around downtown, you see them around there. Yeah. I did have an interaction with Tim Duncan one time. My son was at a field trip, right? Woody Museum, went with the kids and everything. And right when we get in there, they say, Tim Duncan and his family are here. Make sure you're respectful. Don't, just leave him alone. He just wants to be there enjoying the day with his kids and whatnot. And I remember I was there and I was watching, looking at the dinosaur bones and everything with my boy. And Tim Duncan pulled up, right? Mm-hmm. And I just looked at him, said hi, and just went about my way.
I like that you use the phrase out in the wild because I use that phrase a lot. I have seen players at clubs. I've seen players at restaurants. If you want to go to a nightclub, Beno Udrich back in the day at Anthro nightclub. He lived there on Fredericksburg. But I've seen back when the Leon Valley Grill was a thing before it burned down, Tony Parker, who I believe was a part owner for a while there. I see Tony Parker down there. I've gone to tennis courts and seen Manu Ginobili playing tennis. Saw David Robinson back in the day at a movie theater.
Oh yeah, he used to go to the Crossroads before it was
Northwest
Wonderland.
14 also. Yeah, he was. That's where I saw him at.
Because no one would go to the Wonderland Mall of Americas. Right. He would go there and watch movies.
I've seen R.C. Buford at Hooters.
Yeah,
a dude like for a work meeting, like Spurs coaches there. I one time went to a Firehouse. What's it called? Freebirds.
Okay.
Burritos.
Yeah, World Burrito.
In Huebner Oaks. And the entire Spurs team was there. Like after practice, back when they used to practice, not at the Rock, but when they were in the medical center, they went to Huebner Oaks to have lunch. So it's interesting whenever you see them out and about, dude.
I seen Manu at Pancho's on Marbach. No, bro. There goes. Tall tale alert. Tall tale.
Just bumping into Spurs out and about. No, I don't go and say hi, although Manu did take a photo with my daughter. He was kind enough to do that.
Which one, Gabby or Aiden?
With Gabby.
Okay.
Yeah. Gabby was there playing tennis as well, so that was over at the Dominion tennis courts over there.
It'd be fun to get Gabby here on the show one time so she could tell us.
Dude, Gabby's going to be in town in a couple of weeks.
On mic.
Gabby's going to be in town in a couple of weeks. Show of hands. Anybody want my daughter, who's, by the way, a journalist for The Advocate. She's the criminal justice reporter there. In Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
We could ask her some questions like, what do you miss the most when you're away from San Antonio? Your favorite food, that kind of stuff.
You know what? I think I'm going to reach out to a good friend of mine in the media, see if he wants to be on the show.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can talk about the Spurs and whatnot. But again, we're looking at Jeff G. Spurs Zone on Twitter and on Threads. I subscribe on Spotify as well, but wherever you get your podcasts, kens5.com as well. You can follow Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia is going to be a busy guy this weekend. Isn't the
Big Texas Comic Con?
Yeah,
I'm going. I'll be there on Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah, I got my tickets already. I'm taking one of my really good friends, Jonas Clark. He's the producer of the Sports Grind. That's another show, with Cal. So he's going to be there. We're going to be hanging out.
Friday, I'll be at the Tobin Center. Jeff R. Curry, the comedian, very viral. He's kind of like Matt Rife was a couple of years ago, the big internet. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok comedian. Jeff R. Curry is now that guy. He's going to be at the Tobin Center, so I'll be out there for that.
I think my friend's going to
I had to give away my tickets to Fluffy.
Oh, God. Nobody wants to see Fluffy, bro.
He's still popular,
he ain't
man.
Funny, dude.
I know.
He ain't funny. It's the same shtick, dude.
It's like George Lopez.
He's a lovable guy, but, man, get some new material, man.
Saturday night, I'm going to be in Houston again. For a concert, going to go see Robin Thicke 112, and they're opening up for Boys to Men.
I didn't even know Robin Thicke was still a thing, dude.
I know. I was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, 112, just go sing Peaches and Cream and get off the stage. I want to hear Blurred Lines and get off the stage. I don't want to see anything else other than that.
You should, what? If you have Robin Thicke, right? What'd be cool as another band to follow him?
What's that?
Thick Six.
Thick Six. Speaking of Thick Six. Did you see that one play that Saints interception that was yesterday during yesterday's game?
No.
The Saints lost to the Chiefs yesterday on Monday Night Football, dropping the record to 2-3. But look at this interception. ESPN right here. This was late in the game. If you can show my screen,
Sure.
Courtesy of ESPN. Look at this big boy. Look at this return from the Saints. Instead of getting down to the 20 and just kneeling, look at him bumble and stumble 37 yards.
They could not bring him down, dude.
that would have been the thickest of thick sixes.
That was a
one-handed
look
grab.
at that. People just bouncing off him, dude. They're trying to tackle him. Nope.
I would go on to say that if he had scored a touchdown that play, that would have been the greatest play of all time.
He would have been out of breath, man. He would have been on the sideline sucking oxygen, dude.
That was a great play. Saints ended up losing that game. I believe the score was I don't know. Who cares? But the fact of the matter is that I mentioned it, and our good friend Sean Quintero was on my ass on social media earlier today saying, "Hey Jimenez, remember you said there's a big difference between being 3-2 and 2-3," and it's true.
Look at this.
Saints also lost Derek Carr to an oblique injury and should be out 1 to 3 weeks. So the season very well may be over for my Saints.
Matt Gomez is inviting us to SAFC.
Nice.
And Sean Quintero saying UTSA game on the 19th.
I got to ask, I got to ask for permission. Just kidding.
Probably do. Oh, and look at Tim Gonzalez is saying that our friends over at Sweep the League, they're going to have a former NBA player who was on the 2003 championship team as a guest on their show tonight. I believe it's Speedy Claxton that they're going to have on.
Hey, is there any fatigue going on when it comes to Patrick Mahomes? Because as I was watching that game yesterday, I was thinking to myself, I have cheered for Patrick Mahomes my entire adult life that he's been in the NFL, coming out of Texas Tech, right? Winning a few rings.
Yeah.
One of the all-time greats already. Still in his late 20s. I think I'm off the boat, dude. I think I'm off the roller coaster. I don't want to see him win anymore. Like, I'm tired of the Chiefs. It has nothing to do with Taylor Swift because I love Taylor Swift. Has nothing to do with Travis Kelce because I enjoy his podcast. Has nothing to do with Brittany Mahomes because she's a little bit kooky, but she's ride or die.
Yeah.
I think I'm just tired. I just tired of watching them win.
You're tired
because they're not as good as they used to be, and they're still winning games.
I'm glad you said
to piss me off.
They're not as good as they used to be, because you know who else is not as good as they're advertised? The Saints. Because you told me and everybody else that your record is who you say you are. That's what I've been saying, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, there's a big disparity between being 2-3 and 3-2 with the Dallas Cowboys. You're as good as your record says you are.
I firmly believe that a healthy Saints team right now would be 4-1. They are.
I knew you were going to have an excuse somewhere.
No, it's not an excuse. It happens already.
Here we go,
dude. The Saints had 2 offensive linemen in yesterday's game that weren't on the team 3 days ago. So I mean, I don't know what to do at that point. Cesar Ruiz missed the game. He's a big part of the offensive line. I thought, okay, Cesar Ruiz is going to be gone. That's fine. They have other players, but when they lose two other offensive linemen during the game. And they have to bring in players who were not on the roster this time last week to play center and left guard. You're not going to... Dude, Derek Carr was running for his life, ends up having an oblique injury. Now, one thing I will say, he's going to be out 1 to 3 weeks, right? The Saints have a second-year player and Spencer Rattler, a rookie, as their backup quarterbacks right now.
Yeah.
They're going to lose the next game. They're going to lose to the Bucs. They're going to fall 2-4. The next 3 games, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. If they have a decent offensive line or the offensive line gets better, Cesar Ruiz gets healthier, can get back onto the field, I think the Saints have 3 winnable games after that because they've got the Broncos, they've got the Carolina Panthers. They might be able to right the ship and get back to 500 at that point.
Broncos are not a bad team.
Well, dude, they have a quarterback who had -7 yards passing the other day.
Same, but they still won.
At halftime.
They still won.
That's a bad team.
They still won. And, you got the Panthers, and, the Panthers, and all that. One game that you could get there, Brownies. You got the Giants. You got the Rams, who are not looking very good.
So they have winnable games down the road.
You got 3 there, yeah.
But watching that game yesterday, I'm looking at that game, and I'm thinking to myself, health matters so much in the NFL.
Yeah.
And a healthy Saints team would have beaten that team yesterday. I mean, I know the Chiefs were injured as well, but a healthy team, I mean, that matters, dude. Rashid Shaheed is proving to be an excellent wide receiver along with Chris Olave. Taysom Hill missed that game yesterday. Cesar Ruiz was out with injury. star linebacker was out of an injury, and then you lost 3 or 4 players along the way, and then Derek Carr gets knocked out of the game early in the fourth quarter. Derek Carr out with an oblique injury, 1 to 3 weeks.
Well, look at this. We got an incoming $5 super chat from the Drew Show.
Yeah, what's going on with Drew? What's he saying?
He's saying, back in Houston, according to Mike, he goes, Mike spent hundreds of dollars. The wine tasting wasn't cheap. Jeff cook him. Money bags. He was projecting.
All right, he's talking about this if you want to show my screen.
Yeah, we'll show it.
He's talking about the wine that's behind here. So hanging out with my nugget over the weekend, we went to a restaurant called Trulix, something like that, out in the Woodlands.
Yeah.
And had a nice steak. My nugget had crab cakes, if I'm not mistaken, and a Caesar salad. She had 1 glass of wine. I had a margarita. It was a good night. That's a nice side of that nice part of the state, man. The Woodlands is beautiful. I remember growing up thinking that the Woodlands was kind of, pinky up, and that it was kind of like, bougie. It is. The places are bougie, but everyone's super nice. Maybe it's just me being older and more confident, but everyone seems to be pretty nice over there. So that was over at the Woodlands. Very nice.
And they were saying that, talking about the game last night, said Taylor looked good yesterday. And you got one from Jesse Martinez. Mike is upset that Taylor hasn't shown up to games.
Taylor Swift was there last night.
She was.
Can we get since we're talking about pop music, can we get an entertainment bump?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that right now.
Did you see Dua Lipa?
No.
What she did this past weekend? She was on, she performed over at ACL, right? Which is fantastic, right? Dua Lipa had back-to-back performances over there. She went after the show to a country bar in Austin. And I thought it was amazing. Can you imagine going to a country bar and bumping into Dua Lipa?
Nah.
Now I'm looking for the video real fast. It's on here from yesterday. I thought it was funny.
You know what else is breaking as far as celebrity news goes? Kanye West and his wife. There might be heading for divorce.
Well,
man.
because he's implicated a lot in just whether it's true or not. He's implicated in a lot of the Diddy stuff.
Yeah, man. But at the end of the day, man, they both batshit crazy, dude.
I cannot believe I couldn't find this. This is pissing me off.
We
this
played
is good
the
video.
bump for nothing, dude.
I should have found it. I thought it was gonna be easy to find. Hey, what happened to Mario Lopez?
I don't know, man. But there's the breaking news there. Kanye and his girl.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about other things. Let's talk about other things real fast. Did you hear about Robert Saleh?
Yeah. The news broke right before I was coming out and doing this show here.
So who do you think is to blame for that?
Oh, man. It's basically the Jets, and them not performing up to par. Look, the Jets have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
The problem has always been their offense, specifically the quarterback position. You have Aaron Rodgers. That was supposed to be a thing, that was going to kind of shore things up. And I don't think he's gotten along with his coach. I think there's just been a lack of chemistry between the two. You could tell with that little shove that now was infamous, where Aaron Rodgers pushing him away, I don't think he really cared for him or his style of coaching. So
yeah, when he pushed him
out.
away, you know that there was something up.
Yeah, and look, I mean, right now the Jets, they're kind of announcing that, their interim coach for the Jets is going to be a defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich. He's going to go ahead and be at the helm until they find somebody else, probably in the offseason. So
another casualty of being associated with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, man. He's just going to be the coach, I guess.
You can't blame Aaron Rodgers for the losses. You got to blame Robert Saleh, who's a decent enough guy. By the way, I found some video of Dua Lipa over the weekend. This is her Instagram page. She said that she wanted to dance with a real cowboy while in Texas. So she met one.
There you go.
Went to a honky tonk over there. And can you imagine going to a country bar and seeing one of the world's most popular pop stars out there looking like an absolute nugget? And this guy over here was just dancing with her for like 15, 20 minutes, 3 or 4 or 5 songs, man. And she just was out there with him. And the guy is probably about 60 years old, and he's hanging out with Dua Lipa, who's one of the biggest stars.
He probably didn't even know who
she
was, dude.
Well, with all the cameras there, I mean, I'm sure she kind of known a little something. Dua Lipa, who I believe made the Elite 8, if I'm not mistaken, of our baddie brackets.
Yeah.
Not bad, dude. Not bad. She's so fine. Look at Dua go. Look at Dua go. Look at that guy. Do you think his hand wandered a little bit?
Nah, he's an old man, dude. He's just doing this thing. He's having fun. He's having fun. He's just having fun dancing with the pretty girl, dude.
This wasn't just one song, man. He had her for like half an hour. The broken spoke is where they are. Dude, she was drinking out of red Solo cups.
There you go. That's how you know a place is legit. We do got another $5 super chat coming in from the Drew Show.
Oh, I know. And I saw Neff Ozuna reaching out saying that the Cowboys had 5 missing starters. You know, when you have missing starters, that's cool, man. It happens from time to time. Everyone has missing starters. But when it's the entire offensive line, you're toast.
You know what I need? I need to have the violin play every time you start coming up with excuses.
Give me a second. I'm looking at Dua Lipa, dude. I'm looking at Dua Lipa in Austin. Look at her shop for boots. Nugget. Dude, okay, if you went to Cavender's, Joe, if you went to Cavender's and you saw this, Joe, she was all over Austin. I dig it.
She's taking in that barbecue, man. There you go.
Dude, I mean, Austin barbecue is not bad.
It's all right.
I mean, it's not that New Braunfels Luling barbecue. The what are the other ones that are really good?
Blacks
is good. I like Blacks, dude.
Blacks is good. Just don't go get the sauce. You don't need no sauce on that, man. You don't need no barbecue sauce.
No, you don't. The beans over there are amazing.
Somebody wants me to play the Pledger video.
What's Pledger?
I don't know. I think it's when he was cooking you. We're at Twin Peaks. Me and Pledge had a good time, man. You know what? Sean,
I think he's mad that I kind of sent astray his direction the other day, and I didn't mean to.
We're talking about that. I told him, man, you were catching strays. He goes, I know. What's up with that? And you know what? Sean says that you're out of the circle. You got to work your way back in. You got to go to a UTSA tailgate. And you know what? Me and Sean's wife, man, we both agree we do not like Fireball. Sean likes Fireball. But me and his wife were talking. We're like, no fireball shots, because I told him I'll go to a tailgate. You know, I'll go eventually this season. And he goes, well, yeah. He goes, what do you want? He said, what do you want me to bring? He goes, I go, do you want me to bring beer? He goes, we got beer. All right. So you want me to bring a bottle? I got bottles. He goes, yeah, but we use the little bottles because we just moving around drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go and get some bottles. You know, little bottles. And the wife's like, don't get any Fireball. I said, that's exactly what I was thinking. We both said it at the same time. No Fireball.
Yeah. If Fireball, you know, am I going to retire the Fireball? Is that what we're doing right now?
God, man. Fireball is so bad, dude.
Gets you in trouble, man.
It's just
it gets you white girl wasted. $2 super chat coming in from Drew, man. Thank you so much for all the love, dude. Multiple super chats today saying, seriously, Mike, happy you getting your groove back. Man, that's part of it, dude. That's part of it. Do you know what I did today, Joe?
Yeah.
This was early this morning. I was in my closet. I've been, you know, new life because my divorce should be finalized next month, right? All that stuff going on. You know, it's been over a year since I got separated. So, you know, life just moves on. I have bought so much new clothes over the past month or so, dude. Like, just polos and long sleeve shirts and shoes and whatnot. I'm just redoing things. And I went through my closet this morning. It was around 7:30 in the morning. I was looking through my closet and I thought to myself, you know, all my old clothes from my old marriage, I'm just going to get rid of. I started bagging them all up, dude. I got rid of every single piece of clothing that I had, except for a few Saints shirts and a few Spurs jerseys. I got rid of it all. I just put it in bags. I'm going to tell my dad to sell it at the next garage sale, next yard sale.
Yeah, we got another.
New me.
Got another super chat coming in from Tex-Mex Frank. Thanks, Tex-Mex Frank. Appreciate you, man.
Dua Lipa at the Tejano bar. Mike Goen. Damn straight I am.
No, you won't. It's too ethnic for you, man.
Oh,
you don't
dude.
like that music.
Dua Lipa averages out, man. Levels it out a little bit. But, I know we had to pour one out for me because I'm a Saints fan. We also had to pour one out for Chris Leha because he, too, is a Saints fan. Chris Leha of MCS General Contracting. You're wearing the hat right now, Joe.
I am.
Let's go ahead and show them the love and affection we always do.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Diamond Hard Concrete, Joe. Diamond Hard Concrete is what we get over at
There. Let's see. We're back.
Hello, hello, hello. Are we back?
We're going to see.
Yeah, we're back because
we're
Sam
back.
Salina says they need to have a technical difficulty graphic with Edgar Mike picture.
All right. We're back now. No, I kicked off when I was trying to connect Mike's plug. It kind of kicked us off the air.
Yeah, can I knock off one of these plugs right here? They all
No, those are powering. When you're showing the screen, one of them's powering that. The other one is powering the laptop.
Dude, my phone is dead.
I mean, you can unplug the other one. That's not the square.
This right
That's
here?
the laptop. Yeah. And that should be good for now because it has its own battery.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I could have done that all along. All right, Joe, we do this on Tuesdays. We do NFL Power Rankings. Who do you want to show this time? Do you want to show CBS? You want to show ESPN? You want to watch Yahoo, NBC Sports, NFL.com? Which one are we doing?
Let's do NFL.com.
NFL.com released their rankings today. Edward Edholm is the lead writer for this. So we're going to go from the bottom up. Start from the bottom, and now we hear. At number 32, your Carolina Panthers dropping one spot, dropping two spots. The New England Patriots at 31. The Cleveland Browns, who, by the way, apparently Deshaun Watson has settled again with somebody else.
Oh, man.
Down to number 30. Jacksonville Jaguars, 1-4 at number 29. The Dolphins at 28. The Rams at 27, the Titans at 26, the Raiders.
MCS General Contracting. We're having all sorts of problems today.
Quit touching things. Bengals, Giants, Cardinals. Top 20 include the Colts. So yeah, the Jets at 20. They just fired Robert Saleh as head coach. Dude, the San Francisco 49ers at 18. There's a good possibility that the Niners are going to be 2-5 after 7 games. They've got Seattle and Kansas City next. Dude, if the Niners don't make the playoffs, who would have thought? Is Christian McCaffrey really that important? I know he's the best running back in the game.
Yeah.
But is he that important that they go from being Super Bowl contenders to 2-4, 2-5?
Man.
Sam Salinas, quit touching things.
Hey, man, that Wi-Fi is still not all that. I have to end the show early here, man. We're kind of lagging bad. And I knew it was because the Wi-Fi, we lost it for like a minute or so, and it came back on.
The Saints right now are at number 16, according to NFL.com. I think they're showing them some love. Because if you're 2-3, you shouldn't be 16. They're above the 3-2 Bears. Let's go to the top. Oh, Cowboys, number 13. Moving up 4 spots to 13. Says, quote, with the weather delay and all the mistakes the Cowboys made along the way, I figured that there was no way the football gods would let the Cowboys win on Sunday night, but the Cowboys found a way on a 4th down and goal in Pittsburgh. They found a way to win, up to number 13. Falcons, the Dirty Birds, according to NFL.com, are the 12th ranked team in the NFL. And Kirk Cousins throwing for a franchise record 504 yards, I believe. It's crazy. Yeah. Eagles. Okay, how are the Eagles at number 11? They move up 2 spots by not even playing at 2-2. Top 10 according to NFL.com. They have the Steelers at 3-2. The Steelers suck, dude. They have the Buccaneers at 3-2. Good team. They played really good against the Falcons. They should have won that game. Green Bay at number 8. Buffalo Bills drop 3 spots after losing to the Texans are at number 7. Washington Commanders, Joe. Are they really the 6th best team in the NFL?
Nah, the Commanders are as good as their record says they are. And right now they're 4-1. Pretty good, man.
They're 4-1 right now. The Ravens at number 5. They just seem to be getting better and better, man. It's like they course corrected with the Cowboys. Texans got another win. The Texans are the kings right now of winning 3-point games. 4-1 record, number 4 ranked. Detroit Lions, who the Cowboys play this week, the 3rd ranked team according to NFL.com. And beyond the Lions coming into town, Joe, this is what should scare the Cowboys. The Lions are coming off a bye week.
Yeah,
they're healthy. They are rested coming into Jerry World. Number 2, the 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs, and the number 1 team according to NFL.com. They got the Sam Darnold-led Minnesota Vikings after beating the Jets 23-17.
Yeah,
in London. Joe, some takeaways from this. There are only 2 teams in the NFL right now that are undefeated, so that means that soon enough, the 72 Dolphins will be popping the champagne bottles.
Jeez.
I hate those assholes, dude. The 72 Dolphins are smug, man. I want them all to eat crow one day. Are the Vikings really better than the Chiefs?
Vikings are a really good team. The issue is that the Vikings, if they meet the Chiefs here, they're going to have to play 2 games, one against the Chiefs, the other against the refs, because the refs seem to love the Chiefs, man. They've bailed the Chiefs out several games already where they should have lost. Close games.
There was a questionable pass interference yesterday that didn't get called against the Chiefs.
And there was also a questionable hold that was called that shouldn't have been a hold.
Derek Carr was trying to get them within 4 points down with about 9-10 minutes to go before he got injured. That was a 20-yard play that turned out to be an incomplete pass. Look at the standings right now, Joe. 7 teams make it to the playoffs in the NFC, right? So right now, you have the Commanders, the Vikings, the Falcons, and the Seahawks as the 4 teams to make the playoffs due to division, right? Number 1 seed would be Minnesota. Detroit would be the 5th team right now at 3-1. And it would be the Cowboys and the Buccaneers, the Green Bay Packers, and the Bears all at 3-2 fighting for the last 2 spots. So Cowboys are on pace right now. When it comes to the AFC, the 1 seed right now is the Kansas City Chiefs. The 2 seed is your Houston Texans. Then you got the Ravens and Bills, followed by the Steelers, Broncos, and Chargers. The Broncos and Chargers, dude, are in playoff contention right now? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I told you that Broncos team is not as bad as you think they are.
Do you know what team would get the number 1 pick in the draft right now?
Oh, man. It's probably going to be Jags.
Right now, it might be the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, man. Are you serious, dude?
As of right now, the draft order right now, number 1 is the New England Patriots. Number 2 is the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 3 is the Cleveland Browns.
And the Jags, where are they at?
5.
Wow.
Right now, if the season ended right now, the Dallas Cowboys would pick 23.
You know what? Yours might be going to where?
Well, I mean, why not Cleveland? I mean,
They need a quarterback.
Deshaun Watson's trash.
He's garbage, dude. You know what? They were saying, they made fun of him and they said he has more settled lawsuits than he does touchdowns. And that's true. I mean, he's been getting hit with lawsuits left and right, man. He's been in all sorts of legal troubles.
Yeah.
I think that's affected him from a mental perspective. And right now, he's just damaged goods, man.
So Tankathon has this is an NFL Tankathon, by the way. They have as their mock draft right now Travis Hunter, the dual threat cornerback / wide receiver for the Colorado Buffaloes, going number 1 overall.
Wow. And if yours, he gets into the draft. Where
they have Cleveland taking Shedeur Sanders, the Colorado quarterback, at number 3. Quinn Ewers would go number 7 overall, according to Tankathon, to the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, that Will Levis experiment's not working. Just not working.
Yeah, man.
Very cool. Very cool. What you got going on? You said this weekend you got the Comic-Con, right? Are you going to go see any of the panels?
Yeah.
And which one's Jeff doing?
I think he's doing the Cobra Kai one, and the Turtles one. I think he's doing the Turtles one where they're talking. What does he
do for the panel?
He's hosting. He
introduces the people.
Introduces the guest, which are the celebrities. Ask them some questions, and they have him up there on the stage on the big screen. He's looking nice, wearing a blazer, with the T-shirt and everything, So Jeff's doing his thing, emceeing the event up there on stage, talking with celebrities.
That's crazy.
So we'll make an appearance and go say hi to him. And I'm going to be there with my son, one of my really good friends. We're going to be walking around, taking in, some of the sights, the sounds, and looking at the merch that they got there and having a good time.
That sounds like a plan, dude. It sounds like a lot of fun. I've always wanted to go to one of those events because it's not a Comic-Con in the sense of a regular Comic-Con, because there's more to it than just cosplay and stuff like that. Right?
I mean, they have panels that you can listen to, the actors talking about their respective shows, series, or movies that they're starring in. And then you also get to go ahead and take pictures with celebrities. You got to pay them some good coins. Sometimes, depending on who it is, if it's a major celebrity, you're looking about maybe 200, maybe on up.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, I think, charged $200 a couple of years ago, one of the events here in San Antonio. I'm looking right now. Hurricane Milton is now a Category 4 storm, and it is said that the size of the storm is going to double. That it might weaken to a Cat 3 or Cat 2 upon impact, Joe, but it's going to double in size to basically be the size of more than half the state of Florida.
Yeah, man. We already got notifications from work and saying that if you're working in the area, people that were in that area, they've been told to evacuate. So
yeah, girlfriend's daughter evacuated yesterday. She lives in Florida. She flew her ass back to Texas.
Yeah, they sent an alert out, all over the place, to us employees, saying if you're in the path of the storm to kind of like vacate. You don't want to be in that path when that storm hits, because even though you might not be, right there at the center, but the problem is that all the flooding, all the rain that's going to ensue, and you're going to lose power for an extended period of time. Your food's going to go bad.
Right.
You're going to have raising water levels.
No Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi, no way of communicating, even with cell phones and all that, it might be very limited communication because cell phone towers might be affected and go down. So it's not a very good time to be around, that area, the vicinity of the storm. When you even come back, I'm sure you're going to have alternate routes because some of the roads might be washed away. You might be coming back to a home that's flooded, full of water, a lot of cleanup, so
right.
It's a mess.
Being at a place after a hurricane is
awful,
awful,
dude.
I remember after Hurricane Harvey, my daughter Gabby and I, we went out to, because people give money to Salvation Army, and they give money to whatever. These natural disasters, there's nothing the government can do to make it right away. The best thing that they can do, you got to go. You have to make sure that people's lives, are they alive? You make sure they have water, electricity, and you clear debris. That takes forever. Look at what's going on in North Carolina right now.
They still cleaning up.
North Carolina, the hurricane hit the mountains, which never happens.
Yeah.
And they were saying that all the roads hug the water.
Yeah.
And they flooded out. And the state's underwater. There's nothing you can do other than wait for the water to recede or evaporate.
Even when it does, a lot of the roads are washed out or not even there anymore. So how are you going to get out?
Right. Florida is going to be decimated by this. Now, it's not going to be like Hurricane Andrew or whatnot. Maybe it does. Hurricane Andrew growing up. But when you see this, the wide area there, like I said, my girlfriend's daughter goes to school in Florida.
Yeah.
Her master's program. She got on a plane last night, last minute, dude, got on a flight and just came back to Texas because you don't want to be there. I took my daughter to East Texas after Hurricane Harvey just to go help out and just to donate some time. We cleared a woman's house of debris. We cleared the trees out of the yard, put it out to the street so that it eventually be carried away. Dude, it is tragic, man. It is dramatic. And all they want, dude, is water. And on top of that, the mosquitoes that show up and all the bacteria.
Disease
dude,
and all that.
The HEB in Goliad, Texas, which is not East Texas, Coastal Bend. Goliad, Texas, they just said everyone can just come in here and just take our food. It's all going to go bad anyway. Just come take our food. It was crazy, man. The sheriff's office was there. People could go in there. You had like a couple minutes to go grab some stuff. People grabbing, granola bars, grabbing toilet paper. And it was orderly, but it was so cool for HEB to say, we're declaring this a loss. Just come get some food.
Wipe us out, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, man. But, man, so, yeah, Florida, if you have any loved ones in Florida, it's going to be a long, long week for them.
Yeah, my daughter's boyfriend, who is in the military, he's stationed over there right now.
Yeah.
So they haven't been given evacuation orders because they're kind of out of that path. But still, he's got to worry about flooding and heavy rains that are going to be coming their way. And he is a firefighter, too, at that. So he's going to be one of those first responders that's going to be responding to any emergencies that are in that area. So, thinking of him right now as well. So hopefully he stays safe. His job is to help people that need help. My
former business partner lives in the Tampa area. That's kind of where it looks like it's going to be headed, and you never know. But even if it doesn't go directly to it, the size of the storm is probably something we haven't seen in a long, long time, and it's kind of weird for it to be happening so late in the hurricane season, already in October. Reading an article right now that I think is absolutely stupid. It says 12 states and the District of Columbia have filed a lawsuit against TikTok. Say that TikTok is too addicting and harms the mental health of children.
No.
So Spotify doesn't. So video games don't.
Internet.
So YouTube doesn't. The hatred that people have for TikTok, I think, is so stupid, dude. It's so stupid. Oh, well, they know your intelligence, dude. Everybody knows my intelligence, dude. Like what Facebook knows about me, dude. I go into a barber shop and suddenly a coupon pops up. I go into a store at the mall and suddenly something pops up on my screen. Dude, we're being tracked by Facebook. We're being tracked by Google. We're being tracked by Meta. We're being tracked by all of these different places. AT&T. They all track us. I don't see the difference between this one. I don't say. And they say, well, it's Chinese. I don't care. I don't care. It's entertainment. It's free speech. I don't care. Like Mark Zuckerberg is somehow, because he was born in the United States, is somehow better. Dude, they know everything about everybody, man. You can't go anywhere without being on camera. That's scary. That's what I don't like, man. Is that everything's on camera. Everyone knows where you are. Do you have anybody on 360, Joe? Family members?
My daughter and my other son.
Was talking to a friend the other day about it. I was like, back in the day, we used to skip school. No one knew where we were at.
Yeah.
Who we were with. And now everybody knows where everyone's at because you just follow their phone. It's crazy.
The kids have it on us too, because like we have the app and they're like, "Where you all at?" My daughter will get mad. "Why are you all eating out without me or something?" I want to go.
Yeah, my daughter was like, the other day I was at Papacitos and she was like, "Why are you at Papacitos?" I was like,
"Yeah,
leave me alone."
She probably wanted you to take her. That's why.
Yeah,
that's the way my daughter is. Or why did you go to Target? I wanted to go.
ESPN has a headline saying that a woman is suing Vince McMahon, WWE, alleging abuse and wants the NDAs waived. Dude, NDA business is scary, man. Just scary. If you ever saw the movie Spotlight, all about the NDAs, about the priests and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's scary, man. That like to become a lawyer, to do nothing but NDAs for sexual abuse, whether it be to anybody, to a celebrity or whatnot.
Yeah, that's bad, dude. I wouldn't want to.
How do you do that for a living?
You got to be a lawyer. Sometimes you got to protect the criminal.
Yeah.
That's your job. So it's, not for me.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up, man. Everyone, hey, by the way, my number is 210-508-0369. If you have any questions about anything financial in nature involving investments or insurances, again, 210-508-0369. Joe will eventually change the photo on my graphic there. 210-508-0369.
Oh, man, this is taking forever. Here we go.
That is me right there, baby. That is me. I've got some investments to sell when I get back to the house. So everyone have a fantastic day. It is, Tuesday here in San Antonio?
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow for Hump Day. Again, if you have friends or family in Florida, check in on them. Make sure they're all right. And everyone have a fantastic day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.